Good afternoon and welcome to BJC Halacha A number 1916. Halacha A keeps the Yetzer Hara away. Dedicated in love and memory of Daniela Basfi, her neshama, Shem and Aliyah. And we are taking a divergence once again from the laws of priestly blessings to learn about this sad time, the 9 days leading up to Av, the 9th of Av, which is the saddest day of the Jewish year, the destruction of both temples, first and second. And so there's a lot of customs of mourning. So let's learn about this. It is the accepted custom in all Israel amongst the Jewish people not to eat meat or drink wine during the 9 days from Rosh Chodesh until after Tisha B'Av. One exception is Shabbos, of course. Also, we'll see, there's other exceptions, but finishing a tractate, if it really was being finished at that time in between these 9 days, fine. The people that are invited. Let's see, though. Says the footnote here, these things of not eating meat or drinking wine are forbidden until after midday of the 10th of Av. It is even forbidden to eat food that was cooked with meat or that contains animal fat. Even poultry is forbidden. However, a person who is sensitive to dairy food is permitted to eat poultry, and for a sick person, all restrictions are lifted. Now, don't make believe you have this trouble eating dairy just this time of year, folks. We know what you're up to. Let's see. A sick person is certainly permitted to eat foods that was cooked with meat. And then he says here, this applies even to a person who is only slightly ill. Nevertheless, if it is not too difficult for him, he should abstain from eating any kind of meat from the 7th of Av on. So at least those 2 days before Tisha B'Av. Also, some women who have given birth abstain from meat and wine from the 7th of Av on. From on that day, the heathens entered the Beis Hamikdash, the temple. At a meal that is considered a mitzvah, we mentioned this before, such as a bris, a circumcision, opinion of Ben, redemption of the firstborn, or the conclusion of a Talmud tractate called a siyum, it is permitted to eat meat and drink wine, says the footnote here. The Mishnah Berurah cautions us against deliberately hurrying or delaying the conclusion of a Talmud tractate in order to eat meat in the 9 days. He maintains this rule is valid only when the tractate is concluded under normal circumstances. That's what we talked about before. Aside from your parents, brothers, and children, and those involved with the mitzvah, you may also invite 10 other friends. Again, this is for the tractate or for probably the bris as well. But only such friends who, if the meal would have been held at any other time, would also have joined you. All these mitzvah meals are permitted even on Erev Tisha B'Av before noon, right? So this year again, Tisha B'Av falls on Sunday, but assuming it fell on a Friday or Thursday rather, so then you could even have this meal on Wednesday before noon. But he says, but not later than that. The festive meal that is usually made on the night before the bris is not considered a mitzvah meal. It is forbidden to have meat and wine at such meals. Rather, you should serve dairy food instead. Again, that's the meal before the bris. Regarding the cup of wine for Havdalah on Shabbos night, if there is a child who is able to drink the greater part of the cup, it should be given to him. Otherwise, the person reciting the Havdalah may drink it. And that's what I did. Let's see the footnote here. This applies to a child who is of age so far as chinuch is concerned, 6 or 7 years old, but nevertheless, who has not reached the age to understand the mourning over the destruction of Jerusalem. Very interesting stuff. Okay, it was a little bit longer today. Thanks for listening to Sponsor Future Halacha 36, 100 for the gold. Have a great day.